Is God okay with our tattoos? Hey everyone, Kevin here. Welcome back to our What Does the Bible Say series, where I take the common concerns that Christians have and just ask, what does the Bible say about it? Today we're going to be asking the question, what does the Bible say about tattoos, and should Christians be getting them? There's only one passage in the entire Bible that really has any kind of reference to tattoos, and it's Leviticus 19 verse 28 that says, "You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord." Before we can start using this verse to say that tattoos are a sin, there are two things that we must admit. Number one is that there's a specific context in which these markings or cuttings are being condemned, and actually the verse tells us exactly what they are. During this time in Israel's history, there were some obvious pagan practices that were going on, and God did not want his people to be falling in to the false types of worship that were going on in the other types of nations. So he told them that they do not need to be cutting themselves or putting marks on their body as a form of worship for people who are dead. We can think of it a lot like Wiccan or necromancy that was going on only during their time. And God knew the weaknesses of his people, and he did not want them to fall into this false worship, these ritualistic practices that would turn them away from worshiping the one and true God, their God, and start worshiping all these false gods, these pagan gods that were brought by the other nations. So he told them specifically, the Israelite people, that you do not need to be marking or cutting yourself as a form of worship for dead people. It may also have been put in place so that they would not end up falling into some kind of ritualistic worship like this. Maybe worshiping the fathers of the faith like Abraham or Moses or any other great leader that has led the people. Number two is that the book of Leviticus was written to a specific audience, the Israelite people. It is a book that has great application, has great principles to live by, but it is not a book of laws that Christians have to follow today. And it can't be used as the only source to identify right and wrong for those who are under the new covenant. However, there are commands that are given in Leviticus that are also repeated in the New Testament. Things like adultery, homosexuality, murder, things like that. So our question is this command to not have tattoos, is that also a command in the New Testament? Well, there aren't. But there is one passage that a lot of people will go to try to prove that Christians should not be getting tattoos. And that's in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19 through 20 that says, "Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body." While the specific context of this passage is in regard to sexual immorality, we do know that our body is not our own. It is God's. But the question is, does a tattoo defile the body? The answer is not a yes or no, but must be based on two questions. What does the tattoo represent, and what is the intent of the heart? Paul said that our body is not our own, but belongs to God, and whatever we do with our body should be for God's glory. Tattoos that represent sin or promote evil in any way is not glorifying to God. It doesn't mean that every tattoo has to have a cross in it, but it should not be anything that would cause a person to question your Christian faith. But we also need to ask the question, why are we getting the tattoo? Are we getting it for vanity reasons, just to bring attention to ourselves? Or is the tattoo just for you? Is it just something that you like, and maybe you're even using it for the purpose of glorifying God? So what does the Bible say about tattoos? The Bible does not say that a tattoo is inherently wrong or sinful. But if we're going to be putting something on our body, make sure that we're doing it for the right reasons. And make it something that is not going to hinder your ability to represent Christ in your life. I want to know in the comments below if you have a tattoo and how you're using it to glorify God in your life. Don't forget to hit the like button so that more people can find this video, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, be sanctified in the truth. God bless.